Hello, everyone. Enter here with Guild Wars 1. And yeah, can you believe it? A second stream in 1 month. Going crazy. So anyway, we are here continuing to play on this assassin because that's what I feel like doing. I was just thinking earlier. Remember the days of fraps and what was it? Hypercam? Bandicam? Man, video captures really come far. Record Horseman. Okay, I should assemble a party. Never Panaku. I hate Panaku. For those who don't know, Panaku basically coerces your character into committing crimes. And then somehow, and has a track record of doing so, and somehow never gets fired. So I am not a big fan of Panaku. Okay. We're going to go ahead and enter the mission. I hope everyone is doing well today. I myself just got done doing a Spider-Man pre-release yesterday. And doing some card sorting to put things away today. I enjoyed the pre-release, if anybody is curious. I just saw a big thing earlier about upcoming Magic sets. I'm super hyped for Lorwyn. I started playing Magic around the release of Lorwyn. So going back to Lorwyn, I'm very excited about. Lorwyn Eclipse, is that what they're calling it? Like that? Anyway. We need to get this character to Ilona. Oh, yes. Thank you, Master Togo. If you were paying attention, you would have known I had, in fact, done that already. But I appreciate the sentiment. Getting aggro. I also actually... So last time... I'm saying for lurkers and VOD watchers, apparently. You may remember that I did a big discussion about how I felt like this game's visuals somehow felt more epic to me than Guild Wars 2's. And I was trying to figure that out. And there's definitely been, like, you move faster. And it's like, okay, that, like, yes, that has an effect. Especially when you're on mounts. But that can't be the whole story. Because, this is very important, I noticed it with screenshots as well. So if it was entirely about movement, then you would expect that I wouldn't get the effect from screenshots. But I spent a while studying this, and I made a Blue Sky thread about it that maybe I'll link in the description of the VOD. I linked it on my Discord as well. But anyway, as I did some comparison pictures of like the Searing Crystal and Pockmark Flats to the one in the equivalent one in Guild Wars 2. And I also did House Zuheltzer. I have to admit, like, this is of course all very subjective. Like, I like Guild Wars 1 House Zuheltzer better than Guild Wars 2 House Zuheltzer, but in part it's like worn down a little bit. But also it's a lighting thing. The lighting in Guild Wars 1 just is more stylized in a way that I enjoy. You can't do anything about that. It's just how it is. This area is so much blind from these stupid rangers. But anyway, what I kind of realized while looking at things is a lot of it is that... So there's tricks for perspective, and I looked at some real-life pictures that I've taken or of, like, distant objects and stuff. And so there's an effect called atmospheric perspective. And what atmospheric perspective is when objects are more distant, they start to... So, like, you can actually see it right here in effect. If you look right here at this rock over here versus those distant mountains, those mountains are a little bit desaturated, right? Like those objects in the background, a little bit desaturated, and they are also slightly bluish. So atmospheric perspective is basically the further away something is, the more desaturated it is, or it's kind of neutral tones, and the more blue it tends to be as well. Okay, I just got bossed. Marauder shot, just one shot me. And so you end up getting this sort of, oh my goodness. So you end up getting this sort of effect where, like, it is the way atmosphere interposing itself in between, you know, man, I am so glad I'm dying so fast I'm not getting more death penalty from this. Oh my goodness, and his boss soul explosion killed me. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by a game beating me up. I always like to go this way. So I'm going to keep doing that. My armor's maybe a little flimsy for this stage of the game. I don't think this is absolute starter gear, but it's very, it might be Xingje. But anyway, so atmospheric perspective is just like when the atmosphere gets in between stuff, it causes things to become desaturated and slightly bluish because the sky blue, all that sort of thing. It's just the way the light refracts and all of that business. So anyway, this is kind of like a known phenomenon. So of course things are going to replicate it. So like you can see it really clearly here. This is more saturated than those background mountains, right? So you can do this as a like perspective trick in video games because, or in any sort of art. I mean, because this is just physically how the light behaves is when you have distant objects that happens. So like they are doing those sorts of things. They're employing the techniques of atmospheric perspective and wow, I am just made of tissue paper. But they're employing these properties of perspective in order to be able to create the visual effect of distant objects, or like to make you think that objects are in the distance, right? And so like this is something that both Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 do. You can definitely see this a lot in Guild Wars 2. It doesn't necessarily have to be kind of a bluing effect. It's like what color is the atmosphere. So if your atmosphere is absolutely atrocious or whatever, a different color or whatever, you can kind of... But the desaturation is a significant part of it, right? And so, like... I was noticing, okay, they're doing this in both, but like... What is it about Guild Wars 1's implementation that is making it more effective? And part of it is there are things that our eyes... So it's not just atmosphere. It's also size, right? The relative size of objects. So more distant objects appear smaller, larger or like closer objects appear larger. Okay, well that's definitely going to affect things, right? So the distance that I feel to that thing over there on the other side of Zendaijun, or the temple in Zendaijun, like it feels a certain distance because of how big it is relative to me. So like the further away things are, the more they appear to be on the horizon line. Does that make sense? Like this is something I've been thinking extensively about, so. So because of that sort of visual effect, when something is looming high, and it's supposed to be distant, it has to be exceptionally tall. And in that thread, I shared a picture that I had taken from a car, so it's kind of a crappy picture, because, you know, hard to get good pictures from a moving car. And also when road stuff's in the way. But where you can see a city in front of mountains, and there's a substantial difference between them such that they appear the same height. And so, like, you can get this effect where, like, the skyscrapers of the city appear to be the same height as the mountains because the mountains are that much further away, and so they're appearing that much smaller. It's just interesting to me, like, how some of that stuff works. But what's more important here is if something is looming over you, it naturally feels closer. So, right, like, if I... you can really see this with the Syrian crystal image, actually, in comparing sort of the two, between the two games. But, it's just this huge sort of effect where if something is looming, it feels closer because closer things loom, right? That's just visually how it kind of works. I am being harried by the henchman. And so what I was kind of observing in the is the other thing is if you can actually see the distance, then the perspective tricks don't work, right? So I took some looks at New Kaineng City, where it's like, oh, this building is like they have aggressive atmospheric perspective, or it's just super hazy, but it feels like it's atmospheric perspective. That's just super aggressive. But then you can just like see, oh, that's just down, like it's a couple blocks away maybe, and like the way the building is looming over you. So it feels like they're trying to trick you into thinking the building is bigger and more distant than it actually is, and it's not working because you can actually just see the walk up. It's like, oh, you know, I can see the path over there, and how far away does that look, right? That means it has to be somewhat close. And so, like, hello, mana guy. And so I was just observing that, like, Guild Wars 2's atmospheric perspective is just very aggressive, and but it's not successfully fooling my brain because there's too many other indicators that are making objects actually appear close. And like Guild Wars 1 does a better job of making things on the distance feel like they're on the horizon line, so it feels like they're far away because they're not super big, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I just thought it was really interesting. Interesting stuff. So I've just been spending maybe an inordinate amount of time thinking about that. I want to save Twisting Fangs for fighting these guys. This is going to be rough. So looking at them, I think Yijo is my priority here. Get my enchantment up. Thankfully, I have lost most of my death penalty. Ow. That hurts so freaking much. Yes, dear. Need rain. Okay. Got through them. Okay. I just saw Professor Guy's Spirit Rift and panicked for a moment because of Yijo. Even though that would have been too late for him. I don't happen to have a random. I do have a random bow. You're promoted to. Well, I don't think that worked, but I tried. Need to take out this ritualist. Also, too many explodies. Well, as long as they're exploding all over me and not all over Headmaster Togo, or Headmaster Vong and Master Togo. Okay, we managed somehow. Excellent. Okay. I should be able to get to the mainland. I'll need to clear out my longbow would be better. I guess I should slash bonus. And I can grab some utility tools that way. Not really. I'm only going to get one ingot from. Definitely not. Definitely not worth it. Unless it's highly salvageable. I got a poisonous sword hilt unlocked, so congratulations to me. You know, these mods are the sort of thing that works well for... I also unlocked the Pommel of Swordsmanship, just a really, really bad one. These mods, like poisonous and whatnot, are the sort of thing that works well in PvE when you need longer durations on your conditions, but doesn't really matter for PvE. I don't believe I need anyone with me. I should... I've gotten all of the skills I'm going to from quests, so I should take a look at the skill trainer here to see if there's any that I wish to pick up. I'm just going to remove all of this stuff. Masaharu. Okay. Splinter Weapon is really good, and I definitely do want to be picking that up. I want Flesh in my flesh first, though. And I have Death Blossom here, which I can't ignore. Grab Splinter Weapon as well, because it's just too good not to. And Men Body Soul is also just too good not to. I'm gonna pause it there. Okay, I have to equip Death Blossom. It's just I have the combo already, and it's unignorably good. You have Shroud of Distress. It might actually be better than Way of Perfection right now. I'm gonna keep Shadow Refuge on for the time being, but actually, Death Charge might be. Let's do this. Shroud of Distress is solid. I don't know. This might be a mistake, but I don't have enough to really be able to spec into any of this stuff, so it doesn't matter. Having Flesh in my Flesh unlocked is a really, really useful resurrection option for this account, though, and being able to do some of this ritualist healing is good. I need more, but we'll get there when the time comes. Also, Splinter Weapon is... okay, well, we're not going to worry about any of that right now. We are going to, in fact, talk to our first mate, Jiang. I don't know why I have these daggers. Not very good. That was only 2 clicks. I wonder if it was because I didn't have anybody else in my party. I haven't thought about that before. That would be an interesting thing to test. Master Greco. Yeah. I have to think about what armor I actually want to get her. Well, step 1 is going to Kaineng Center, so this is the marketplace. I still think about the Factions Preview weekend. It was so impactful. We'd basically be dropped in here in the marketplace, and then there was an NPC we could interact with that would take us to Pengmai Valley, and from there we could kind of go explore some of these areas a little bit, the Curzon Luxon areas. We had no idea Kaineng was going to be as big as it was. Man, that was no joke like 20 years ago, but 19 some odd, more like 19 years ago, but it it left just a huge impact. And I the other thing that I really think about from that time, I don't know why there's not an armor crafter in here. Something they'd want to have. But the other thing, big thing that I remember during that time, or think about from that time, one more. Sure, Talon, you can join me up front. But is alliance battles at the time. You could enter with a party of up to 4 people, and then it was kind of like random arenas, so you'd be put into a massive party of 12. And that was just so much more inviting than having to be in parties of 4 and stuff. I don't know. I never really liked alliance battles after the preview weekend. Like, and I acknowledge it made skills like heal party exceptionally strong, but who cares? It doesn't have to be that serious of a format. It can be whatever. The best way to get where I'm trying to go. This way, right? Ifauton. It's weird because the names are definitely a mix of like Japanese, Korean, and Chinese names. I think in Guild Wars 2 they lean a bit more towards the Korean side, but they can't fully get away from the sort of mega blend of Asian culture that they do. I'm gonna go after Kenshi once I get Sickness of Capture. I don't know. My first priority is max armor. That shouldn't be terribly surprising, though. I definitely want to... Oh, let's grab this quest. Running pass. Guys there for all of the Guild Wars 1, or the Prophecies aficionados. I do like how each campaign kind of has little bits of connection to other ones, like the washed up ship in the Mittani Keys in Easton. And the Elonian Mirrors and stuff. Like, they have references to the other campaigns. I don't know. It makes the world feel more cohesive when stuff isn't siloed. So I always kind of appreciate it. I should be able to pick up mocks, which will be huge. Taojo have a quest? No. I think Taojo's involved in a quest. I need to talk to Mox. Do I want to... Yeah, hitting up EOTN would actually be... There's potentially skills up there that I want, and... Let me user manual down here. Okay. So first things first, I need to go investigate my armor options. Quests. Over there, obviously, now that I'm looking. Man, eventually this account will have money, but that's definitely capital E eventually. Okay. I will actually go ahead and grab Luan's. I don't like the Xingje armor because I don't like the pajama look. Linen. How much linen do I have? That's Damask. 9 linen. Okay. Maybe relevant counts. Some of this stuff is steel, which I have vaguely more of. I do kind of like the Canthan armor. My leather supply, a pitiful. And then what's this one? Daytung. Hang on. I need to look at the... Okay, there's one that I like. That is the... I don't have enough crafting material. I like the Canthan guys decently well. See, that's 20 and 125. I could go get that. I think I might get the Imperial armor. It is in Buckdeck Byway from Oroku. Where is that? Right next to Vizuna Square. Okay, yeah, that's where Kenshi is. Awkward. Be able to go up there, but I definitely want... Am I allowed to buy... Don't remember what Boreal Station has either. Yeah, okay. Obviously, there's a bajillion skills available here, which is... My goodness. This can't be everything, right? Ancestor's Rage would actually be kind of decent on this character. Not a high priority. Wild Strike is important to get at some point. Those critical attack. Okay, let's take out 5 platinum. Grab a few skills that I definitely want to have, like now. Those two. I mean, I want several more, but... Okay. How's my plat still? So I can grab a couple more. I need to leave 2 plat for. Do I have a Protective as Kaolai? Okay, that would cost a little too much. Okay, I'm going to go and attempt to make 2 pieces of armor. While I do like this chest piece quite a bit with this like jacket over bra look, I guess. I think I'm gonna go with Imperial on her. At least for the torso and legs. Let's go grab a few more quests before off. Bujo is involved in a quest. Let's make sure I grab a Shiro Returns. I do want to talk to Mr. Jason over there. Yeah, that's the guy who makes me talk to Bujo. Okay. Okay, that will take me, yeah. Yeah. I should actually probably just go Lux and focused on this account. Easy to say, but like my guild is Currently, I've always been Kurzik, but I became Lux in line to be able to join my alliance. With the people that I regularly play with, so. Food. Probably won't do Naga oil, but might as well take it. Talk to Tanzan, who's going to be dead soon. Bummer for him. Okay, let's talk to Bujo now that I have the quest to do so. See if the pathfinding can get me there. I need to take those other quests also. Unfortunately, going to Nightfall is kind of tricky. I think I'm going to want to have gotten the heroes from EOTN. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Alan, your butt out of here. I want Mox. I don't want you. Let's just take you, Monk. Have press chance good enough. Let's see. Radiant Scythe. This seems fine. Shield of Regen. Healing Hands. I don't really... Well, Imbue Health is a really strong heal, but, like, the problem with putting Imbue Health on him is it's 10 energy. Okay, I don't have any attack speed buffs. The ones that care about stripping dervish enchantments are not good in this situation. Let's just put on that one. Okay, Mox is a little bit better spec'd up. Pinepo will take me somewhere or another. Chaos and Crota, yeah, that'll get me there. Linro is the one for... I am not going to go to either spot right now, but Sunspears would be good, but I don't want to deal with that particular quest at the moment. It's a doozy. Need to give my voice a little bit of a chance to rest. I was talking so much, like you can see the atmospheric perspective here, right? Too, where like these buildings immediately to our right are more saturated than those ones there, which is more saturated and less blue than that building back there. It still is probably closer than it sort of appears. An atmospheric perspective is probably too aggressive, but because I can't see an obvious path there, it makes it feel less like it's right next to me. That makes sense. Hello. If we're going home, do I just need to talk back to him again? Okay, I need to talk to somebody in Washington Bazaar. I do want to kind of like finish that quest. These ones don't appeal to me at the moment. Right, yeah, okay, that guy's way up on the... Okay, it doesn't matter right now. Let's just go... Nowhere near anything else that I need to do, but it's near Vizuna Square, local. It's just so important that I get this armor that, like... Or Vizuna Square foreign is... Excuse me. I mean, that doesn't help me any, right? Because I'm not going to Vizuna Square. Son Nok is very Korean feeling name to me. I think of Korean names as typically having a 3-part build to them. And then there's just a different style to Chinese versus Japanese names. Natural result of the languages. Down this way. Is there anything down this way? I think it just loops around, yeah. You know, we're going exploring a little bit. You can see where my mouse cursor is when I mouse over somebody. Yeah, okay, then that would lead over into that. I kind of actually just want to go up. Because I need to get up, I'm going to get my face stomped in with my non-existent armor and my 320 maximum HP. Don't mind me just casually missing... What's that? 160 maximum health. Yeah, 8 levels, so 160. It's 20 HP per level. Start at 100, though. We don't get up to 500 HP because we start at 100 for level 1, not 120. Short. A level. I don't think that's where I need to go, but I am rearranging my water cups because I just finished off one. Okay. Look, there's a little pocket area of people hanging out, and this is just here for like they needed something in the map. Oh, there's Wing. Wing has a really good axe. Okay. Fun fact. Puddle. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 would definitely do better with making those puddles puddly. I don't know, guys. I think standing around the puddled street sounds a little sad to me. There's somewhere where this, like, can be taken into a... Over here more? I guess it must be, right? I'm feeling deeply confused about my navigation of this map, which is appropriate. This is... Xingzhou is... Or, not Xingzhou. The Kaineng City is known for being somewhat convoluted and confused. Oh, yeah, I need those capes for a quest. Well, that kind of works out. Good. Which quest offhand? Happy to get this cloth. Search for a cure. Oh, this is the one for... Okay, I have more than I need. That's nice. Hey, maybe Wing will feel like dropping his thing, or maybe he'll feel like one-shotting me. Let's find out together. Wow, okay. Never mind Wing. Freaking got Ancestor's Rage for 100 and some odd damage because my armor is so low. I mean, my damage is, like, acceptable, right? But right, I have some expertise. I think I actually have more expertise than I do critical strikes right now, which is really funny. Oh my goodness, I got his axe. That is going to make my warrior so happy. I did not expect to get Wing's axe there. Wing's axe is a zealous axe. 15 over 50 fortitude. It's just a solid axe. There's just not a whole lot else to say about it than that. It's just a solid axe. So I legitimately did not expect that to happen. That's really cool. This is my celebration voice. Worth getting lost if you're going to get greens. I should back up. I'm taking a lot of fire. Yeah, part of why I gave Mox Shield of Regeneration was because it gives plus armor, and I need all of the armor I can get. And plus 40 armor is just... It halves the damage that you take. It's so good. Thanks, Mox. Also, Mox doesn't have any energy because, of course not. Have you seen the skills I gave the poor guy? There's Oroku. Oroku is who I need to talk to. What am I supposed to do about taking a literal one-shot hit? Like, 225 damage? Like, I don't have that much HP right now. I'm a pile of fragile. I'm here to destroy Resigs. Thanks for the Res chant. All the Zeth penalty is making it really hard to actually use my skills. Ow, 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 ow. Give me my HP back. I need 12 energy. I need 12 energy. Okay, well, I need enough stats and communing for that to not just get instantly wrecked. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring a signet of capture. I'm a doofus. Well, I'll just... Because I was going to capture a skill off of Kenshi over there, but since I forgot to bring a signet of capture, I can't do that. Imperial guys and Imperial legging. That is what I'm here to... Thank you. Okay. We're actually really, really close to Vizuna Square foreign from here, but I can't go there because how life works. Can I even salvage these? Can. Will. And I wish I could have gotten that from... Okay, well, I'm less fragile now. I'll still have, like, some hits that are just astronomical, wipe out all my HP hits. Because my armor is not entirely protective. I just want to see. Foreign quarters over there, and I doubt they'll let me in, but... You'll notice that I'm taking substantially less damage from some of those hits. Shield of Regen is also contributing substantially to that, but... Even without it, I'll take less damage. Mostly. So, for those who don't know how armor works in this game, and I don't know if you're watching this and you don't know how armor works, it seems unlikely, but ouch. That dragon stomp probably hit my legs or something. Armor is regional, so your yeah, see, like, one of those hits was randomly for like 51 damage. Basically, when you get hit, there's you can think of it as divided into eighths. There's a 3/8 chance it'll hit your chest, a 2/8 chance it'll hit your legs, and then 1/8 for head, legs, or arms. There might be some skills that specifically target specific regions. I don't know. Mystics. Oh, that's worth nothing. What that means is these are always like the chest piece is typically 3 times the cost of like the head, legs, or head, arms, or feet. And this is usually 2 times the cost of the other ones because they're hit that much proportionally more. Yeah, they won't let you in here right now, which is a shame because it would be very convenient. But okay. Let's go back to Kiting Center. And let's well, I'll go back there for more of the armor set. Because I'll probably get different headpieces, but I kind of want the rest of the armor set for the arms and legs and hands and feet. But I need more tan hide and steel ingots. That, so that's how it goes. Here, I'll stick Wings Axe there. Really good pick up that. I am going to put one of these minor runes on chest piece. I usually put the rune on the chest piece, and I definitely want it now. I should actually check how much. So I'm thinking right now, because I need water, but I'm also thinking about specifically, okay, I don't need these. Took 3 and I have 5. What runes or specifically what insignia I want? Because there's arguments for Radiant and there's arguments for Night Stalker. I typically like Radiant on Assassin at times because you want the higher energy pool. Night Stalker is definitely a more valuable one, which is not. This is interesting to think about. The Radiant is more energy and it's cheaper. I'm just gonna grab 2 Radiant right now and on my new chest and legs. Oh yeah, I also wanted to check to see if Mystics was worth. That sounds like a Mesmer rune. Not. Oh, yeah, it's probably Rituals. Oh, it is worth something. Okay. That might have salvaged a better crafting material. I am going to salvage this as well. Yeah, see, I got silk out of that, which is good. This will be dust, which I also need. It's a toss-up sometimes of, like, what do I need more from various versus... Actually, let's... is Minion Masters worth a little bit? This isn't one I tend to use myself, but I need that. I need more tan hide. Okay. Now I might get a Xingje headpiece. I believe those were more affordable, and I don't have as much in the way of a sticking point regarding that style. That was Ryoko, I think. Yeah, these are fine. And I have the cloth and the linen for one of those. I think I need, like... Oh, I have the gold. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, from selling the cloth and linen. I'm actually... Wait, what is it? Oh, it needs the bolt of Damask. Okay, never mind. I don't have Damask. Specifically don't have Damask. Can the materials person here make Damask? No, there's a friggin' materials person there. Like, this is a very Chinese name. I need to spend those attribute points. No, you do not make Damask. You can make leather squares if I need to, but, like, I need those. Steel is... you should always buy steel, not craft it. Like, or get it out of salvaging or whatever, but... Okay. I think that's fairly early on. I want the dagger mastery there, because that would free up a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna pull out of communing and slap on a signet of capture and, like, Heart of Shadow. And I'm gonna swap those. Yeah, it doesn't really matter on that. Yeah, more critical strikes is good. Actually, I'm gonna split that way. But, like, if I'm able to take a point out of dagger mastery for now and still wield my daggers, that would be great. Well, actually, I can't because I already have a dagger mastery hat. But, you know, having a higher strength would be right. Okay, what do I need to make Damask? Yeah, 5 plant fibers and 5 glittering dust and 200 gold. Do I have the plant fibers? I do. Not the Damask icon, I think so. Okay, Kainu will make it. So that should be... I need 200 gold. And then some plant fibers and dust. Okay, let's... Oh... Okay, let's do this quest, I guess. Sure, that sounds fine. I'm less fragile than I was. Shadow Song is still, like, something that'd be very useful, but... What you gonna do? I think, yeah, this guy's over here. My recollection was saying. Pretty easy one to do, so. Here's the Afflicted Guardsman Chun. Affliction is scary business, and not something you can underestimate. Well. Glad I brought a let's get out of dodge button. Still getting absolutely hammered. Like, there's still a pretty decent chance that I take a painful hit, so. Okay. Oh my goodness. Stolen speed made that take forever. I'm still gunning from this thing? No, fine now. Poor Mox just keeps walking the horde of enemies and getting exploded. Okay. We've cleared this out. Which means we've done that quest. That's all over there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's in the Wajan Bazaar. Guess our credit is right there. The Emperor Peril. Unzen. That's in the Wajan Bazaar. Let's just go to Wajan Bazaar. Most of my quests take place over here. Signals capture will also give me experience points, which will be Basong. There's Kainu, which is why I brought the stuff with me. The goods, you might say. Yep. That will be for my hat later. Sentries, minor communing rune. Unlocked that, so that's kind of neat. I feel like I just recently did an episode of this where I was running around doing quests. Yeah, I need to go talk to that guy actually, so I should probably just turn this in. You know what, this actually makes the most sense to do is if I turn this in, I can also go make the armor set, or the headpiece, which will further defend me. Because I'm going to want to put a superior rune on it, I'm going to hold off on runing it up, because I don't want the HP hit right now. I have to see if these are worth anything. No. Naughty. Car chaser. Yeah, that's not okay. The minor communing is the one that might be worth. Huh. Yes, it is. And just about sells from, or pays for my whole armor piece by itself. Need 50 more gold. Nice, nice. Okay, back to the other side of the world. Where's... I also need to talk to Guildmaster. Oh, yeah, Barkeep. Oro. Okay. I mostly know my way around this outpost, but not entirely. Not entirely. Yeah, because I need to do this. Mining docks are the ones off the marketplace, not to be confused. And I need cloth. Let's see. Where's the dagger mastery? Yes. Just straight up super. Okay. 175 gold from the quest. Okay. I think Kaining docks have a number of useful things for me. This is the one where they're smuggling and stuff. I think the other guy was a different one. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. I really like the just ambient people are talking in the general area sounds. Yeah, okay. Okay, just go to Luan for my reward. I will. I want the experience points, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll worry about that one at some point in time. I think I want to do this one now. So I've gotten myself armor. And I need the perennial problem of needing crafting materials is what I've hit now. Okay. I'm going to go over here and we're going to make our way to everybody's favorite, the Eye of the North, where we can go pick up everyone's favorite, Gwen. Who's slightly more of a favorite, I'm sure, than Norgu. It'll load in my character's model at some point in time. I won't just be a pair of floating daggers. That was pretty funny. Okay, time to fight some Ampha. I'm under the effects of Eye of the North, so I actually have health now. However, it means I no longer have expertise. So that's a little bit of a bummer. And it doesn't, like, actually change my armor. Oh my goodness, flashing blades. Why? Flashing blades is, like, one of those skills. It's, like, decent, but, like, enemies get way better use out of it than the player does. The problem when you're a player, of course, is that flashing blades relies on enemies attacking you, and if they are going after your party members, they are not going after you, then it doesn't do diddly squat. Ah, man, this is why I was Slash Warrior on my assassin when I was playing on my main account earlier, or the other day when I was playing her, because Wild Blow lets me get right through that. I'm not planning on doing much here besides grabbing the 3 heroes, but being able to kick Sister Ty out of my party for Ogden sounds great. Hmm. I also feel like Guild Wars 1, maybe I'm a bit more encouraged to have the camera low, and Guild Wars 2, I may be more encouraged to have the camera up here, so I'm just seeing out better. No, I'm trying to think. What sort of things make differences? Where and why? Ooh, new pulling bow. Nice, nice. Okay. I do need more wood for parchment, as my previous VOD proudly proclaimed. Thanks, Mox. I wanted to get a nice screenshot for the thumbnail, and you just had to run in there. Although, neither of those are actually working. There. Maybe that one's fine. Maybe we should... Whatever. The thumbnail will serve its purpose. Purple. Yeah, that's the statue of Melandria over there. Little statue of Melandria. Look at her in all of her golden water-flowing glory. I understand why they changed the statue style for Guild Wars 2, but I'm still like disappointed we don't get more of those, like that style one in like that in actual good condition. And furthermore, I'm also like a bit disappointed that we don't because I would like that old style and higher resolution, and they definitely like reuse it in places, but and sometimes they just don't, and it annoys me when you go to the ruins of Grand Court of Sebulka with its emphasis on Lissa, and it uses a new statue of Lissa instead of the old, like golden old version. I could be one thing if it was missing, right? And the idea is that Joko took the statue and melted it down for gold to put somewhere else, right? But or like if there was a Joko statue there instead, like that would have been thematic. But when it's just like, oh yeah, no, this is the same. It's supposed to be the same Lissa statue, except not. It's just it annoys me a little bit, you know. And especially when they have that attention to detail, and like the ruins of the Temple of the Ages use old style statues. The statue of Balthazar, as the Grawl call it, uses a very weathered Balthazar statue. Like they clearly could put the attention in some places and not in others. Like I get it, budgetary concerns and all that stuff and whatnot, but it still is a little disappointing. But what you're gonna do? Vec is getting his face stomped in. What am I gonna do? If I do this and then I hit this button, nope, that tries to bring me close enough to actually target the enemy. That's interesting. Directly away from your target. So if I target one of those, yeah, that does move me forward. Now I'm moonwalking. Behold. Okay, that was a funny little moment. do 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 do. Good job, you leveled up. Then we get to see Jorah, and there's a whole cutscene about Jorah, and I'm hunting other prey and whatever, and I don't feel like watching it. Goodbye, henchman. I've unlocked Vec and Ogden. This character. What armor set do they make available here off of Jolvor? I don't know what Vec is doing. Okay, it's just the Canthan stuff. That makes sense. I don't actually like the Canthan guys. I don't like the thing going up on the side. How much experience will you give me? 1,000 experience points just to run some dudes around. I'll worry about allocating attribute points at a different time. I feel like dealing with this right now. I'm not going to. Okay. Give you flash of my flag. That's good. Lightning Orb's a lot of energy. Little Lightning Orb. In the industry, like to call it Lorb. Ogden, I tend to make Ogden Divine Favor oriented. But I don't have any of the skills. I guess I have UA. We'll just make him UA. I do like Healing Breed. Do I have Cure Hacks? Probably not, right? Give him these 10 energy enchantments, a Healing Whisper. Maybe we'll use it smartly. Yes, I do want to give him Heaven's Delight. That's a very simple UA healing bar. Mox's got everything else covered, right? Right? And she... Lotion. That's maybe a little bit of a disrespectful name, but I don't care. It's funny. NPC. Okay. I just want to go get Gwen. Maybe look at some of the Eye of the North skills for Assassin and Ritualist. There's any there that I want. Have these guys talk at me for a little while. Sit in the snow. This is a posture designed for armor to function in.
How can I help you?
Okay, thank you. What I wanted. I wanted to be able to against the destroyers. I need to do a Master's Burden. And I need to turn in the Afflicted Guard. A bunch of stuff to do, but we'll do them. We'll do them. I need to do this one too. I need to go do the 15 attribute point quest. But let's go get Gwen first. I love these trees, just absolutely laden with snow. Trees like that in person are just gorgeous. Honestly, like, as the seasons are turning here, and summer gives way to autumn, I have to admit that I am excited about it because it's been way too hot and dealing with that has been a pain. But I'm not looking forward to the shorter days. Like, if it rained all the time here, because I live in the Pacific Northwest, and they say it rains all the time. It does not rain all the time. If it actually rained all the time, I'd be a little bit happier with winter, which is the rainy season. It does rain a lot typically, but not all the time. Most of the time, it's just like overcast and kind of cold and miserable. And like one of the things that I have found is that like I don't like nighttime. It makes me anxious and uncomfortable. So I frankly would prefer it if like I like the longer days of summer. But the
Who sent you?
What I've found is You know, I really,
Never anger
like,
enough.
growing up, I didn't mind winter as much. And part of the reason is because I lived in an area growing up where we got snow. But we don't really get snow out here. Like, we get, like, maybe 5 days worth of snow a year. Maybe. Something like that. At least in this specific area where I live. And just snow makes winter feel so much better. When things are going to be really rough for me is in November. Like, November has just historically been a bad month for me. Because daylight saving time ends. And it just abruptly gets dark an hour earlier. And that's just... It's just so brutal. Like, they don't talk about that part of it. But, like, just suddenly, like, because, you know, it's getting dark at, like, 5:30, and then daylight saving time ends and it gets dark at 4:30, and it's just like, or 5, or whatever it is. I don't know the exact timing. But it's just, oh, it's so bad. I'm not looking forward to that. Also, this quicksand is absolutely terrible for me as an assassin because I need my energy and it's making me not have any. I don't know where that thing was trying to go. You know, I brought Lena because I assumed she would, I don't know, maybe have some Connie cleanse or something, being the prop monk. But she does. She has dismiss condition. I think the amount of conditions to deal with is slightly escape her ability.
Are you hunting something?
I just want to get to the Eye of the North, lady. That's all. I probably want to go to Ilona, Land of the Golden Sun. And there I want to pick up, most significantly, I want to pick up, yeah, something I was thinking about actually, because you get the critical strikes based and increased attack speed skill that with an assassin suffix weapon probably is a lot better. Because it would, I imagine, you know, you could get it some actual duration on it. But anyway, I want to go pick up the heroes from Milona so I can start getting some points into them.
How can I help?
Crying pool. Look deep in the pool. What even is this one anymore? I don't remember. I don't usually watch these. Cool chamber. Somehow it feels more magnificent in this than in Guild Wars. I don't know. There's something about the Guild Wars 2 rendering style that robs epicness. I don't know what it is.
Looks like a scrying device.
You're right. We know it's magical, but can't get it to work.
Hang on. Often these things are just a matter of concentration.
No one else has been able to do that.
Just lucky, I guess.
Chamber with a great destroyer.
What was that?
A destroyer. We fought them earlier. They've captured the Dwarven and Asuran tunnels.
And they're coming this way?
Seems like it.
Vec, we have to rally the local populace, these Norn.
But we don't know how much of the gate network has been compromised.
Exactly. We're on our own. The battle starts here.
What's the matter?
The destroyers are coming up from the depths. We need an army right now. Help me convince the Norn to help
The
us.
destroyers drove my people to the surface, west of these mountains. We should contact them.
They're both wrong. It's the Ebon Vanguard that needs your help. A large detachment led by Captain Langmar made a sortie into the Char homelands. They're now several weeks overdue, and I fear the worst. I need you to help me find them.
We need my people's knowledge.
No, we need the Norn as allies.
It's up to you, Buka. Which do we do first?
Why do I have to make the tough decisions?
You're just lucky, I guess. How can I help? How can I help?
Hey, Gwen.
Hail, and well met.
Interesting.
Let's just tapestries. Resilience. Sure, it doesn't really matter. By the time I can actually put anything in any of these, I'll have all of them put up, most likely. That was not necessarily the case. The cutscene is just watching that from a different angle. Hello, Kim's the historian. He doesn't actually have a quest. He just lets you change stuff. My count's legacy doesn't matter. This one's not hooked up to a Guild Wars 2 account, and I don't expect it to ever be. Okay, now these guys will have quests and such. But they didn't before.
How can I help? How can I help?
What does this one even give me? Death Strike? Death Strike's such a bad... Oh.
What news?
I would like these books, please. Thank you. Okay, Shunlai. Okay. Good old Dungeons and Dragons references. Let's get this extra 3 wood. Hey, that's 2 pieces of parchment. Dropped off. I need a lot more parchment before through, but whatever. Get there. We'll get
Report
there.
in.
I have this caged short bow that I don't want. Micah Ferguson.
What news?
Okay. Man. Goodies in here. Falling Lotus Strike is especially nice. Vampiric Assault's really hard to make use of. I did make a build that used it, though. Pure Li Ming is actually super good. Well, I like a lot of these skills, but I'm not buying any of them right now. Ghostly Weapon is... Target other allies' attack cannot be blocked. Ugh. If this was like you, there'd be a bit of merit to it. There is Guided Weapon, which has kind of that effect. That one's like best with stuff that cares about when you cast weapon spells. Okay. None of these other guys matter. Let's go back to Kaineng. And then add Gwen to my party. Welcome to the party, Gwen. I'd rather you spec a bit more highly into fast cast. Doesn't rest chance somewhat similar to Flesh My Flesh, but doesn't cost you health, but costs more energy. Pros and cons to each one. If you Grabbing that. Fire frustration is good stuff. I mean, we're just going dirge nonsense. Enchantment. Facials is really good in some situations. Oh, for my last empathy, probably. Good. Okay. Gwen, show yourself. Haha. Okay. Do I have Eve? I do. Eve is... Sue is also useful. And I guess I'll go Guy. Okay. Now I need to go to Bajunkin Pier and talk to Cormier. I'll wait to turn that one in until I've gotten the other guys. That's what I need to do, right? Sun Spears and Cantha, that's the one I'm doing. Whew, trying to find my quests here. Right, I have some attribute points I can spend. Do that, I guess. More Shadow Arts makes these heal for more. I mean, I want critical strikes, but until I can afford 8, it doesn't really matter that much. A little bit more duration on critical eye is not a bad thing, mind, but not, like, substantial either. If that makes sense. Eventually I'll want to talk to Menlo and go back to Kryda, but that's not an immediate consideration. Actually, a little rough. Thankfully, Fingers of Chaos doesn't affect somebody who is entirely non-core professions. This one's definitely easier than the Sun Spears in Kryda, just because Sun Spears in Kryda is kind of ridiculous. Just the NPCs are way lower leveled. So. Want to be in that meteor shower, thanks. Oh my goodness, that hit like a freaking truck. Man, putting skills on monk heroes is such a tricky proposition because, like, at first you think you want, oh, I want good skills on these, and then you realize that they use this good skills like idiots, and then burn themselves out of energy instantly. So, like, right now, one of the problems that I'm seeing is Healing Whispers being spammed to snot, which is not the bad thing, like it's healing people, but sometimes it may be a wee bit premature. And it's definitely running him out of energy. Ethereal Light would be good to have, but I don't have it yet. And kind of doesn't matter. That's a meteor shower. Oh my goodness, that animation is absolutely wild. Gold coins are nice. It'll be good once I start doing Eye of North dungeons. I should maybe consider doing that on my warrior who's a bit more advanced. Thanks. Oh, didn't you aid me? Part of why we like UA. Makes you heal better and it's an insta-res. This looks like you teleported backwards and then you got death penalty on top of it. If you didn't pay attention, you did. Okay. Take that, Spirit Rifts. We've defeated you. Huzzah. I probably just got the big screen. Whatever. I was thinking that triangle was looking pretty from that angle. Oh yeah, I want to listen to this.
Ilona, land
Land
of the golden sun.
Okay, that's the only part I wanted to listen to. I just like that Ilona Land of the Golden Sun line. I don't know why. I'm particularly fond of it. Hi, Jin and Sasuke. Yeah, thank you. I'll be on my way. Give thing. I'm gonna want to soup salvage that cane because it might have steel and I need steel. Oh, right. And here's billion peoples. Charges are there to be used. Okay. Tone? I don't know. Name. Person name. Assassin's Remedy is actually pretty decent. Really? Black Spider Strike is... I didn't realize that. It's just such a, like, assassin core skill to me that... Swap is also really significant. Still. Sight Beyond Sight is one that I definitely will want at some point in time. I kind of don't want to be buying anything right now. Golden Fox Strike is actually a really nice lead attack, though. Because if you're under the effects of enchantment, it can't be blocked, so it works really well with Wild Strike to get through some of the nonsense. That one's probably worth picking up. Did I get Wild? Yes, I got Wild Strike. So I can now equip Golden Fox. Actually, I'm going to just do that. It's a little bit slow, but it's a good chain. I was just thinking about this dance that you get off of JR. There's a reference to one of the big name PvPers. But that's... Man, that's so long. You have to get to Corna for that. We're not going there for a while. Okay, them yet. What do I get if I bonus? I get this bow. This is actually not bad for Ogden. Wielding a staff. I'm gonna just throw this in his offhand. I'll hang on to the igneous summoning. This is a decent shield, but I think I might hammer up our boy. What a weird. Man, I get so many fewer things. My main account has like hourglass staff, and it has so many more things. Hi, I know you don't have any bounties because I'm too cool for your bounties, but thank you. Yeah, I need to go do training. I don't really want to do training. Whatever, we're gonna go do this. It's like they're slower skills to use and have slightly longer recharges, but like it's impossible to ignore. I'm gonna grab Jin. Sasuke is the usual choice, or Sosuke, but because elementalists are generally preferable to rangers, but I don't know. I feel like I want to give Jin some time here. Go grab the Sunspear Great Hall, and then do a Sunspear Great Hall my heroes around and put stuff in their hands. Can I get a copy of Nightfalls from here? Probably, right? Need to have all the books. All of them. Okay. Honestly, I'm probably just going to my guild hall because of here. You. Interesting that I can get young heroes to hard mode already, but okay. I don't need Koss's weapons, but I'm gonna wait until I outfit him to actually make that. And Koss, Akora, Dankoro, and Lonnie. I need this. Okay. Koss, I want to give this. Don't need this or this. You can get the upgrade. This. You get this. Better than what you came. No, it's bad. Okay. That's not the leave I wanted. I wanted this leave, but you know, that's just sometimes how things are. Okay, party. I want Dankoro, Koss, Bonnie. Excellent. Excellent team. Okay. Dankoro, get that nonsense out. Good. This. Bigger spirit. No. Twin's Delight. Word of Healing is good stuff. Dwayne's Kiss is good stuff. Should the last one be? Healing Seeds is really good. Contemplation of Purity would be funny. give him the skill and watch as he runs into the front line to heal people. That's the problem with Alicia. For those who don't know the ancient lore. Like, heal other is actually a really solid choice, but he's not going to use it well, so I don't want to. And heal area is hot garbage, and like you can almost kind of make an MM work it okay, but I'm just going to give him purge conditions. Costs, yeah, whatever. Let's go. Ashashin. Oh, assassin. Monk for the res. Res chant. Sure, you can go tactics. Actually, it's not bad to bring a self. Yeah, let's not do tactics. Hammer mastery and strength. I don't know why you even had a strength. Strength's comfort. Good old self heal. Rush is nice. Yeah, look at all these elites you get to choose from. Get this complete dearth of non-elites you get to choose from. Forceful blow is good for damage. Really the main thing you can say about it. Go ahead and use it anyway. Hey, Ward Against Kids. Am I building a shameless copy of Guild Wars 1 yet? No, but I have thought about variants on the concept. And I agree. I'm surprised nobody has. Let's see. I mean, it's a lot of work. One of the big challenges, weirdly enough, is just the sheer number of skill icons that you need. It's like, it's not the sort of thing you tend to think about, but like, so many skill icons. Do the same sort of thing. Yes. No Earth Prayers. Faith Mastery and Mysticism. These. I like Imbue Health actually quite a bit. I know. Card game art, like the requirements for a card game art-wise is also just astronomical. It's like you realize just how much, like, I mean, I think of Wizards of the Coast because Magic the Gathering is the card game that I tend to play, but there's a bunch of others too. Lorcana, the Pokemon card game, which is the first card game I played, but like the amount of resources that they're spending on art is also quite large. Sure. Actually, Ermites. And it's just like, how do you fund the art that your game needs is just a big question, you know? And thankfully, like, skill icons are simpler, but I think a lot about game design in general. I mean, I have training for programming, but I have only done little bits of it in recent years. Okay, I don't know why we bothered to fight that stupid bug. So language-wise, like C family is what I'm most familiar with. I've been dabbling around in RPG Maker MV on and off for quite a while, so there's a lot of JavaScript with that. Because they decided to use JavaScript as their scripting language, which I mean, I'm grateful that they went to that instead of Ruby, but which is I think what I've heard that the older versions ran on, but I don't know Ruby. I think let's see, there's a book on Perl. I don't remember much. Sure. Burst of Aggression is actually pretty decent on Warrior's Endurance Dagger Warrior. Yeah, like my programming history is I started off learning BASIC. A friend had that makes sense. A friend had a CD called Learn to Program Basic that I had borrowed for like a year or something crazy. And like it just sat around for a while, and then I actually used it, and I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. And I'm like, I should probably give this back. But the interpreter was on the CD, I guess, or something, so I couldn't actually do anything with the stuff once I handed it back. But I'd enjoyed the programming enough that I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep this up. And perchance, I just happened to get like, I kid you not, like the most readable textbook I've ever experienced in my life for C++. So I went from basic with like a guided hand-holding program to learning C++ and using the Borland command line compiler. So, and then I eventually learned C#. Because C# is super useful for whipping up little utility programs. Highly recommend. Yeah, I want to check out Godot, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I have done a little bit of stuff with Unity, which, like you said, uses C#. Man, they really stuck their foot in their mouth when they had the whole like pricing model nonsense. But yeah, JavaScript took me quite a while to get used to because I'm used to typed languages because of working with C family for so many years. That like getting comfortable with what type is it when working with JavaScript was really that took a while of just like it's whatever you want it to be. Feels very mushy. Like I'm trying to build a bridge out of Play-Doh. But I eventually got kind of used to it. Yeah, but it's like, what does RPG Maker actually use, right? That's what's relevant. I have heard of TypeScript. And like at this point, I've gotten used to the mushiness, but it took a while. Yeah, so RPG Maker MV specifically, I don't know about because there's a newer version than that, but I don't know what it is. But the RPG Maker MV uses JavaScript for its engine. So, like, it's this really frustrating thing where you can basically rewrite the entire engine however you want, which is cool. But the problem that you run into is, and this is a pretty severe one, you might be able to rewrite the engine, but you can't rewrite the user interface for the actual, like, editor. There's, like, you can kind of make things for plugins that let you kind of specify the most like clunky automatically generated user interface for entering in data. But like if you change how combat works, you can't change the fields in, like you can't add or modify fields in the actual editor for RPG Maker. So like you can add tags in the note field, and there's a way of like it automatically processing them, kind of like HTML style tags or like XML tags or whatever. Kinda. But it's, yeah, it is very clunky to like modify stuff too much beyond what they expect. And it doesn't like it when you just try. I think Reversal of Fortune is overrated in PvE, especially if you're not in hard mode. What elite do I want here? Oh, Shields of Deflection. I like Shields of Deflection. Yeah, go over a much better bow. Yeah, well, the problem, like, I think Reversal of Fortune is decent in hard mode. The problem with it in normal mode is that enemies are so pathetic that they're hitting it for like, you know, you're reversing 12 damage, and that's a functional heal of 24. So like if it's hitting for its higher values, like if it was hitting for like, you know, the 63, that's a healing of 126 functionally, right? But yeah, when it's reversing like a damage of like 20 or less, it's like, oh, Orison of Healing is hitting bigger numbers. Like you want it to be outpacing Orison of Healing. Which the main reason why I talk about it is because like I remember Isaiah Cartwright talking about the game being balanced around a Reversal of Fortune or some nonsense like that. It's like, doesn't actually make any sense to do that. Okay. What do I want? Let's just. At some point, I want the touch range skill, and that's better on rangers as well. But body shot doesn't actually make sense to bring unless I know that's gonna. Oh, this is a weird tension point. But it's just like I used to bring Reversal of Fortune more often, and then I'm like, wait, no, this is actually bad. I actually quite like Explosion Shot Point Blank. One of the things that's awkward is this is one of my few elites, so. Lightning reflexes or whirling defense? With lightning reflexes. Yeah, of Necro is just so helpful. Monks are stronger healers than ritualists. It's just the energy management. Like, secondary ritualist is stronger healer than secondary monk. So, like, that makes sense that as they kind of addressed some of that. Yeah, I mean, it's this ridiculous balancing issues where you just couldn't get around the fact that guys saying, oh, actually, I wanted to go turn in that one quest and things. That for secondary, because Divine Favor, secondary healing off of the Writ healing skills was just so much stronger than secondary monk. But yeah, like a monk wand or staff of necromancer would really help monk with its energy a lot. Ritualists are really awkward in that they're just fundamentally like overpowered, basically, in their getting close. Do that, yes. Okay, excellent. More critical strikes is more good. I don't know. I still think Paragon is the worst designed profession in the game, but I think Ritualist is the second worst. And it's like a weird, complicated blend of things going on with that. Yeah. It also helps reduce your reliance on a BIP. Just in general. But, I mean, getting of Necromancer mods is probably a pain in the butt, and I suspect they're super valuable. Like 1 and staff ones. I really should not bring a Sign of Caption here. I'm not going to caption you. I just want this. Actually, maybe I just dash. I just dash here. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I just bring critical strikes. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, part of it too is there's a certain amount of build craft that you can do to help manage your hero's energy. So, like, Hakora's energy is probably going to suck because she has a couple of 10 energy skills. But it's just like, skill recharge is actually super important. I would legitimately like Heal Other or Jamie's Gaze for heroes specifically better if it had like a 10 or 12 second recharge. So they couldn't spam it that way, right? We don't really need that. I can resume if I need to. How much longer am I going to go today? That's a good question. I should figure out an answer to. Kind of wish I had dash on my bar, actually. Make chasing after these guys running around a little bit easier. Death charge is like nice, but it's a distance closer, not a chaser. Might as well follow these arrows because the boss spawns in the middle area regardless. I tested this out once. I know. Good old vigorous spirit. Oh man, I kind of want to unlock Slash Derv on her so I can onslaught. I want to onslaught Assassin. That sounds so nice. Yeah, you hammer him, boss. I wonder if mysticism suffix would actually make a lot of sense if you're doing onslaught. I hadn't thought about that. Of course, that means finding that mod. Man, I wish we had a weapon mods trader even more now. Like, my #1 wishlist item for this game has been a weapon mods trader for some time, and while I love the idea of the new mods and the build possibilities are really intriguing and stuff, weapon mods trader becomes even more desirable with their existence. Because it's static stuff like that, like it makes sense for weapons mod trader. Maybe just, I don't know. Yeah, you kind of need to limit it to like max. I mean, you could also say the same thing for dies, right? A die storage pane would be nice. Like most of my bank on my main account is just taken up with weapons holding mods that I might want someday. And if it was easier to actually acquire mods, I would not be hoarding weapons with potentially useful mods. But you know, one problem with Wild Strike is when these enemies use Frenzy, it cancels them out of it, which is maybe not optimal. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, though, the way that the materials market fluctuates so wildly in this game is something that I really like and would love to build into a game. Where, like, you want to somehow be paying attention to be able to get things at better prices or whatever. Like, you can play the markets that way. Which I think they have that sort of thing in some games that are, like, some of the, like, X games. Where X is the sci-fi series where you fly a spaceship. I think it's X something. I don't know. Man, one of the things I love about Assassin is the naming scheme for their dagger attacks. You know, Golden Fox Strike cares about being enchanted because of golden. Golden means it cares about enchantment, and then Fox means unblockable. Wild Strike doesn't follow any sort of trend. But I mean, I like the centralized economy that you get with an auction house because it makes for a lot of conveniences. Like, I think it makes... You could probably find some sort of happy blend with, because I don't like having to, like, try to find somebody to Uncommodon at the same time I am in order to be able to buy stuff, or using third-party sites to run auctions or things like that kind of suck. But having, like, local shops somehow or something... I don't know. I like a global economy for common things like the crafting materials. Part of Guild Wars 2's problem is there's just too many bloody crafting materials, but that's another discussion. But Death Blossom is good here to help clear out these spirits a little bit. But I could see an argument for doing some sort of hybrid style where players can have individual stalls that they sell stuff at off market. I don't know how that would work, but also, I mean, that's fair, but it still is really clunky. But the biggest thing is having the materials traders, the rune traders, insignia traders, like the stuff for like if you had to always buy runes directly from player trading, that would suck so much, right? So we're glad that we don't have to do that. I don't know what the heck Zuner is smoking. Probably huffing too much miasma. I don't know where. Like, I guess trying to fight that enemy down below, maybe? This is your regular reminder that centaurs canonically eat human beings. And that they talk about in Nightfall and some of the side quests eating the forced conscripts to the Cornan army. Anyway. But, like, so having centralized economy for, like, the commodities, I think is good. Having a decentralized thing for, like, specific weapons and skins, I could see an argument for. Okay, Zuner got his confused butt killed. I'm gonna have to res him at this thing. Hey Zunra, stop being dead. Thank you. No, don't chase after the necromant. Attack from above. This game, it's an optimization challenge. Like, they optimize stuff, and then that means you can attack through bridges. It's a lot cheaper to check a circle than a square, or than a sphere. Well, everybody else is down here. I figure I might as well be too. How do I get up? I need to go around or something? Over here, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Clear this nonsense up. Okay, that was kind of unnecessary, but whatever. Actually, just clear this shrine up. Man, talk about being a jerk. Smiting stuff. Those require smiting prayers, which is not really great, but got you cave. This cave has got you. Now I'm thinking of Groundhog Day. What a great movie. Doo-doo. Yeah, so much of my complaints about trading in this game could be solved with a weapons mod trader. The Spirit of Recuperation will die on its own. Just ignore it. I wish I could tell them to just ignore them. Okay. Man, I remember when I was doing my slow playthrough of factions on an assassin. And I had the massively dubious challenge of getting through areas with henchmen. And I think, was it like Tanaka Temple? I don't know. Somewhere did Jin level up? Yeah. I wanted Wait, missing. Oh, there's another pocket up there. Oops. But anyway, somewhere I wanted shadow form for something, so I remember doing a lot of shenanigans to try to capture shadow form. I think to protect me from like a bunch of elementalists or something. Onegai Temple with henchmen was really hard and required me to learn a lot of the triggers in the map. Because the henchmen were stupid, and I was on an assassin. Actually getting through it was a real test. I think it will be a lot easier on this character, because I will have heroes to help me through. Yeah, there's another miasmic cloud over there. Forgot about that. Yeah. Man, I kind of want spawning power daggers also. As well as like warrior daggers. Or like ritualist daggers, warrior daggers, dervish daggers. At some point I'm gonna need enchanting daggers too. Good job, Xeneron. Okay, let's now continue into the caves. Man, I wish I hadn't forgotten about those, but whatever. There's nothing I can do about that fact. I also need to go into Minister Cho's estate, but I'm not looking forward to that. I'll probably take Milani Jin and Donkoro, I guess. I do want to get both of those done. I want my 30 attribute points. Really wish I had fall back right about now. What you gonna do? I wonder what the history of these wooden structures is. Like, why are they here in this cave? That was the wrong shadow step. Good job, Zeno. I think I just need the ones in the middle now. Yeah, but unfortunately it's a long walk over there. I think I might just do these attribute point quests and then wrap up the stream there. I've been going for a decent period of time at that point. Yeah. 2 hours and some odd. It's a decent length stream. Easier to do them more often if they're shorter. The general note. Kind of weird maybe to be doing this 15 attribute point quest first. I'm reminded suddenly of a story I heard once about a like truck. I want to that hauled debris down from the top of a mountain area, and it was like all electric, and it used a regenerative braking system, and the trip down would fully recharge the battery for the trip up. So it was like energy neutral in that regard. This is what I remember hearing. And the reason for that might not be immediately obvious. You're like, okay, how is this truck able to basically recoup all of its energy on its way? All the energy it needs to go up on its way down. Like, doesn't that, like, how's that happening? But the simple explanation is it goes down full and goes up empty. So it's actually a substantial weight difference. And that's why it works that way. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense once you hear it. But kind of a subtle reason. Like that view over to the snake-lined bridge. I thought that might happen. What do I get for taking a screenshot? Ambushed. Afflicted. No, I don't care about the spirit of recuperation. It's not nothing, but it's not... We definitely don't need to kill it. Afflicted Ritualists are just such a priority target for me because of their spirits. They're the healers. The monks are more smiting than they are healing. I think they might have like Reversal of Fortune or something. Yeah, they do have Reversal of Fortune, but like Retribution, like compared to what the Ritualists do, they don't really heal at all. Because they're like smite with a side of protection prayers, so. Okay, gotta clear out the last of this toxin. Zendai Jun is definitely grander in Guild Wars 2. Okay, Balthazar's aura is absolutely draining my health. Okay, now I just see Zunra for my reward. I would, but he's on the ground, so I'm just going to go over here. Hello, Zunra. Thank you. Nice, level up Flak Legend. Okay. Ranmusu Gardens. Jin. Dunkoro and Milani. Together they are team. We'll take care of this problem. I do want to locate it though. Lost treasure. Not to be confused with sentimental treasures. I don't think my inventory's... it's a little bit fuller than I thought, but it'll be fine. Okay. Raiton Nem. Let's go. And one of the weird things about English is that we have like a dozen vowel sounds and 5 letters to represent them with. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm just kind of and stuff. It's substantially more vowel sounds than actual letters, is my point. And it's very annoying. Is that the good crude shield skin? It is. I don't know. The Crimson Carapace skin, which is what that crude shield has, is just one that I happen to be especially fond of. You get all the way over there. Oh, guess we follow right on Nem. This year without skis. Is that the name of the team that just won the? Every now and then, they're going to be able to hit me for a lot. Because I still have bad gloves and bad boots. But it's funny, against some enemies, you could just go fight them without any armor on and it wouldn't make a difference in terms of the damage you're dealt. But that is not most enemies. Good job. Landry Stalker. Well, I don't think he's going to get himself killed because he's level 20 and the things around here are really weak, but I don't like him Prince Ruricking all over the place. Yeah. Looks like he has some inbuilt healing of some kind. I wonder if they made it so I basically can't die in here. That'd be an interesting convenience to the player. Of course, the question is, why does he need your help? And apparently the answer is because he's very bad at actually starting fights. Where are you going? Oh. He was waypointing and then he got aggroed, I guess. That would make a degree of sense. Figuring out routing is a really tricky thing with NPCs, especially in a game this old. They don't have a whole lot of refinement to techniques or options. But like one of the things you have to deal with is like when logically should the NPC move on to the next waypoint? And the simple answer is after they've reached the previous one, right? Kind of like a race. You don't want them skipping laps. But the problem is that can make things really awkward for the player because they can be in this situation. I mean, we've all experienced it, especially in this game, but I was just experiencing back there, where the NPC will like move forward in combat and then run back in order to hit their waypoint properly for their pathing AI, however it's being set up in the back end. And then they start running forward again. And it's like, okay, why couldn't you just go on to the next one and know that you'd pass this one? And it's like, that's actually kind of a tricky problem to solve. It requires a bit more computational energy. Anyway. And something that's interesting to think about is like, how do you solve these problems? Because sometimes they're really, really easy to solve, right? Things like, I don't know, simple math or something. Sometimes they're really, really hard, and it just depends upon how you've set things up. Times for determining which one's a which. Man, I have been getting more loot here than I was expecting. Not, it's the sort of thing that superficially sounds good, but like when the loot's as medium as it is. Yo, Hito, is that you? Are you ill? I've been in the battles of the underworld. It's not this. Trust me, y'all would be flattened in heartbeat if you're like level 8 to 10. It's a funny thing for Guild Wars 1 characters to be able to say, like, oh yeah, we visit the underworld. We go to the underworld to farm things there. Like, what? What? Yes, I know. Keep going. I guess he stops there to let you catch up if need be. They really, really do not like random spirits. Completely drops his whole parade about a treasure. Yeah, I'm gonna want to kill that spirit of pain. Hello, Jajania. Of these have notable in their identification. Most of this is garbage and really salvageable bow staff. I will take that. Yeah, more parchment for me. Thank you for a bunch of experience points. Okay, well, level both of them up. And more importantly, I have 30 unused attribute points that I can now allocate. Let's put it in Tiger Master. That seems good. That makes me do more damage. Okay, cool. That is not the button that I wanted. Alright, that covers those. So I'm going to be wrapping up shortly here, but I want to go back to mining, I guess. Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe the marketplace. Maybe I should advance story things a little bit on this character. Maybe I should do other random quests. Let's start by clearing out my inventory and wrapping up the stream. And then I can figure out what I'm doing on this character. Plan to me. Probably bringing Gwennon back with me. Also, these dude. Yeah, in some levels. Actually, Vec, do I have Windborne Speed? I do. spend 1 speed on you. And hide for armor. Okay. Need more salvage kit. I'm just going to look to see if any of these are notably valuable. Not especially. The short bow actually is kind of... 7 wood. It's not bad. Okay, the rest of this is just not worth anything to me. Salvage kit, ID kit. The ID kit's almost empty. All right. Well, that cleared out that. I need more steel and more tanned hide, but we'll get those in time. That's going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream. I thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, everyone, take care and goodbye.